Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we're breaking out the old wallets here, both the massive one and the one I actually carry, to go through and talk about my most used cards. Spoiler is known Chase Homer. It's not actually Chase cards, believe it or not. And more importantly, why I use those and how the strategy has changed over the years and what this means for you and some things you should consider. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, it's going to be a good show anytime the massive wallet comes out. Of course, we do have Amazon affiliate links down below, but this is where I keep all my cards that I do use. I have more than this, but if I don't use them or need them for something, they just go in the, a little folder in the back there. And of course, this is the actual wallet I carry. Now, I got thinking about this because, I am heavily cashback, predominantly cashback. And it wasn't that way when I first became a host and got on TV talking about this. I was actually using the Amex cards, believe it or not. I had the personal platinum, the personal gold. I was still trying to use those, in the Sapphire Reserve as well. So it's changed a lot. And my original thought was, hey, you need more Chase cards. The more Chase cards, the better. But as I reorganized my wallet after hitting an intro offer to pull in cards that I need, I realized I really don't use those Chase cards as much as I thought. Doesn't mean they're not valuable, but it's more so how does your strategy change over the years. So starting off, my most used cards, I'll give you the top 5. And I'm not going off of spend because, you could take one card and put a very large purchase on it, like a MacBook or a phone or something that could potentially outweigh a card that I use like for groceries, but I use the grocery card every single week, right? So for me, I think you spend less maybe, but you get more use out of, the grocery card, for example. I don't know how much you eat. It might be different for you, but you get the point, right? So my top issuers are primarily Bank of America and Citi, and then there's one Chase card, and there's one Commenty or Bread Financial card on there now. I'm believing the AAA card. We'll cover all of them really quickly. But if you go through the actual wallet, again, the one that I carry, I only really carry 3 cards. And so the first one would be, again, the Bank of America Unlimited Cash Rewards. Now, if you don't know, you haven't heard me talk about it ad nauseum. I am Bank of America Platinum Honors. I made a whole thing about it last year. My point to move over to Bank of America to get Platinum Honors because it gives you better rewards on their cards. We've done a lot of videos on this as full review, so if you want those, they're on the main page in a Bank of America playlist for your convenience. So the Unlimited Cash card is normally 1.5 base. Now with Platinum Honors, it moves up to 2.62% back on everything. So for me, that's my catch-all card, and by far that one stays. That's why it's like the front and center of the wallet. I also keep cash in here too. And then the other ones, we'll get back to the other Bank of America cards in a second, but the other cards I carry the most are Citi, which is I have 2 custom cash cards, and one was an outright application, one was applying for double cash and product changing it, and I put one of those as gas. There's like tape on the back. One says gas, the other one says food. Those are dedicated cards that I use for each one of those. Now, the other 2 Bank of America cards I have that come into play, I don't know if you want to count the Citi Custom Cash as one card or separate for just to make it more fun. I guess I'll count it as one, but I've got 2 of them. I use them the most. Now, the other 2 those are the cards I carry every day. Now, catch-all, gas and food seem to be enough. I don't go to the grocery store unless I absolutely have to. It's usually a planned day, so I don't carry that card with me. It's a special grab from the wallet. Now, the other 2, again, are Bank of America cards, and they're going to be the Susan G. Komen card and the customized cash card. They're really wedged in here. You know what they look like, though. Those are, again, they're basically the customized cash card, which, again, in preferred rewards, gives you 5.25 back on the category of your choosing. Now, I didn't think these were going to be as used. This was actually a surprise because I obviously set out to get these cards, but what happened was I found out was you can actually change the category mid-quarter, which is very helpful. You can change it like one time per month. So the customized cash, the red one, remains my default online shopping card. And that has proven to most things online except for like insurance, which they do tell you will trigger the 5.25, and it's up to $2,500 back a quarter, which is a high cap, really. The Susan G. Komen one, I kind of have that one as my rotating pinch hitter, if you will. I have swapped it to home improvement. I've swapped it to electronics or travel and home improvement online are the ones I've swapped it to. If I don't use it for anything else, It does also code online most times for like bank account funding for the run on the bank channel. So that card actually surprised me. I've gotten a lot more use out of both of those than I actually thought I was going to. So again, they're kind of the same card, so you could count them as one or the other depending on how you want to look at it. Now, in addition to that, my one Chase card is the Amazon Prime card. That is the one Chase card I use the most, hands down. I've never carried it. In fact, I mean, it looks pristine if I can pull it out of here because it's never been swiped, right? It is metal, which is weird because you never take it anywhere, but it is default in my Amazon account. I never use it, but I am a big Amazon person. So there you go. And then the last card would have to be the AAA Daily Advantage, which is an absolute positive sleeper of a card. This is going to get you 5x back on groceries, like up to $10,000 a year cap. For some of you, $10,000 might not be a lot for groceries for a single person who lives alone. It is usually more than enough, but as we'll talk about, it can easily be supplemented with something like a Freedom or a Discover card, which often give you groceries, at least once a year. So for me, there you go. There's a lot of other cards I use, right? Like you could give an honorable mention to the Cash card, but again, I use that once a month to pay cell phone and internet, which is through Verizon. So those are my most used cards. And again, it's one Chase card. And I kind of found that surprising because like most of this row here is Chase. It's 5 Freedoms, an Amazon, and an Ink card over here. So what have I learned? Well, I think, a few things come to mind through this exercise. Again, it's not so much about here the cards I use. This was just kind of what got it started. Was it one, taste change, preferences change, strategy change? Again, as I said in the beginning, when I came on air originally, I was still traveling more than I do now. I still go places. It's just like I don't stay anywhere noteworthy, so it's not really worth talking about. Just came back from Chicago a while back. I will be in New Orleans for the Creator Meet. It's probably already happened by the time you're watching this, but a few other places here and there, but it's really just not worth talking about because those videos aren't exciting like, people with overwater villas and underwater stuff and all that good stuff, right? So when I just, of course, kind of figured out, one, I got tired of the coupon game. Number two, they kept increasing the fees. And number three, I think I realized I just wasn't traveling in the way needed to, maximize membership reward points and make those fees worth it. There still is a business platinum in here that I did for the intro offer. It's in here because I use that credit to pay my cell phone bill for $10 a month. So that's why it's in here. If you're eagle-eyed people are watching, that's the only thing I use it for. So that changed. And then originally, I think you get locked in on one issue. A lot of us, myself included, I'm not going to say fooled, but into the belief that Chase is the end-all be-all of card issuers. You either seem to be Amex or Chase. And in the early days, I think that argument did hold some weight because the Chase intro offers are unrivaled for sure. Chase pays the most for the lowest annual fee or mostly no annual fee cards. I mean, if you're going through it, I got so many freedoms to the Sapphire. I did the Reserve. We know the 100K one. The Preferred, I did a $900 offer from that one, again, for a $95 annual fee card. A lot of times their Freedom cards get up to $800 if you max the whole thing out. The Ink cards are $900. You get the point, right? Like Chase intro offers unrivaled. But as far as like Chase, keeper cards, I've come to a conclusion that I don't know that Chase has the best cards. They have some hits. Amazon is a really good card. The Ink Cash is a really good card, in my opinion. If you want shipping, the Ink Preferred maybe, but the other cards, they're definitely fine on their own, but as you start to build out a setup, I don't think they're the ones to, get if you're okay having multiple cards, right? If you just have one or two cards, then yeah, Freedom Unlimited with the dining and the drugstores and the 1.5, sure, but again, you want a wallet, then they start to lose their luster, again, so much so that I really just have all these Freedoms in case there's a time where I need to get a bunch of gift cards, which does happen. When I bought appliances for this place, I maxed out 2 of the Freedom cards at a grocery store buying Best Buy gift cards. And you can also swap them in, right? I actually had to swap in a Freedom in Q3 to use as gas stations because I realized I haven't used some of these Freedom cards in over a year, so I wanted to rotate them, so I might as well just put the City Custom Cash on the bench. The other thing I thought about is that, while we make it overly philosophical here, but we aren't the same people we are 4 years ago. With how long I've been on the air now, 4 years. Our setups have changed, time has changed, but the issuers and the products themselves have also changed. When we started doing this, again, it was pretty much a 2-company race between Chase and American Express. Citi was always lurking. I know I have a video I did years ago where I was like, why Citi is the biggest threat to both of them. But City's come on strong. The custom cash is a powerhouse card. It works in most setups. They've even started offering intro offers on the double cash. The Stratas, again, were kind of a rebrand of the Premier, but the Premier was always pretty good to begin with. So City, a little strong. Wells Fargo, honestly, is the one that's come on the most strong. Wells Fargo had the free trifecta when I started and the Propel, sure, but it still wasn't anything to write home about. But now I know like I'm an outlier in this crusade to prop up Wells Fargo, and I understand, if you got to set aside, everything that they did and all the lying and stuff, which I understand how that even sounds to say set it aside. But objectively, Wells Fargo's products are tops right now. The Journey card would be my travel card, I think, and one that I might even keep if they'd approved me for it. They denied me for it. The Signify card being a first business card, the punch up to 2% uncapped. The Journey, the regular autograph is like, because it was a copy of the Propel. Even the Attune card, I think, is actually a sleeper card for someone with a giant wallet of cards. It can come in handy. So as the issuers change, the product changes, we see more competition. Well, then, it does warrant re-looking at the competition, especially if you're cash back, because again, the benefit of cash back is I'm looking at Chase, Discover, Citi, Bank of America, whoever issues a AAA card, a Huntington card, US Bank, you name it, and there's Wells Fargo in there too, I think, and they all work because you're cash back, right? Travel, a little bit trickier, but even on the travel side, we've seen Built Rewards wasn't out 4 years ago. Now they are, and they have a lot of transfer partners. So that could actually elevate Chase in your world, because you could argue that Chase's main benefit is Hyatt, because people really like Hyatt. And once you know it, Built has Hyatt. So that could play a part in the revamping of your setup as well. So I guess the overall point of this, as I go through and kind of keep rotating out my cards, is that, the ecosystems and stuff are designed to make you think one is better than the other, and they all have their strengths. Again, the Chase Travel Portal with the boosts from the Sapphires is unmatched. No one else does that. American Express, depending on how you want to define benefits and quote luxury travel, they're unrivaled. Wells Fargo's benefit is they've been mostly free as of late. They do have an annual fee card now, but they're still relatively affordable. Citi, I don't know. We just like custom caches, really. That's Citi's thing. The more custom caches, the better. So they definitely all have their one thing, but you can also mix and match. And again, they do come and go as competition proceeds. I think that's kind of the moral of it, just to make sure you're looking around, constantly adjusting and seeing what's out there, never getting, locked into one. Of course, yes, we want to maximize our time each one. There is a way to go through them, so you maximize your time underneath 524 and all that good stuff. That stuff still applies. But I wouldn't have all these cards that I do making as much as I do on credit cards if I had, just stuck around under 524 and hadn't expanded it out. So that's really my overall takeaway from going through the exercise, swapping out the cards. Now, hopefully I can find some more intro offers and put them all back in, just keep chasing intro offers. But for now, I get denied for a lot because I have so many cards. So using what I have is going to have to work. So anyways, thought it was an interesting topic. I'll turn it over to you guys now. Let me know what you think down below. How's the products out there changed? The issuers changed? The combinations changed? How has your setup changed? Or where are you trying to get it to? I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of it as well as mine. Tell me the cards I'm missing. Would love to hear from you. But anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you find it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channels. We're posting content just like this every single week. And of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com. That's the channel's blog. Always linked down below for you. And on the homepage, we not only have the latest news stories, we have bank promotions if you want to start playing those. And if you want to get started on some of these cards, well, we have credit card offers as well. Everything to get you going in your quest for profitable earnings, hence the name Profitable Content. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.